from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay. We from
What's going down, gamblers around the world? It's the coach back again with Brothers and Bets, and I'm joined by my boys in crime, Marley Betts and Mikey Hover. What's going down, fellas?
What is the deal?
What's good with it?
Hey, man. Hey, it's it's just one of those days. Didn't have a good day yesterday. We got to bounce back, man. We got to bounce back. But since I brought up yesterday, let's kind of talk about it while I go ahead and share out this content to other people so we can get our crowd up real quick. How'd you do yesterday, Marley?
College 1 and 2, as you used to get it posted. Fucking UNC disappointment. Yesterday didn't show up first half. Too many turnovers in the game. Played a good second half or whatever the fuck that's worth. Oklahoma, not mad at the Oklahoma loss. Knew that was gonna be a tight game. I played the revenge card. And then the true freshman let me know why he is a true freshman. He's gonna be a lottery pick next year. So not really so mad about that one because I felt that was kind of a toss up. I hit the over. On the Oklahoma State game, 144. That was easy. But the only thing I'm really mad about is, like I say, man, USC. I just felt like just disappointed, dog. The way they came out and played, they just started out so bad. And we said that too. First half, don't take them. Should have took Syracuse. But is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, that North Carolina one was tough. We kind of knew it. I should have, and the whole time I'm like, man, I should have known better than that. But yay, that didn't turn out right. Oklahoma State just turned it up a notch.
Yeah.
I knew it was over in that game when Cade Cunningham only had 0 points in the first half, and they was only down by 1. So at that moment, I was like, "Oh, this is over."
It's only a matter.
He's gonna catch fire.
It's only a matter of time before he take over.
Yeah. But Oregon is the only reason why I was able to get even. They covered full game and they covered second half. Like I told the people, take them second half. Of course, I couldn't say what it was. I was just like, yo, officially take that second half. Because they're gonna win, they're gonna cash in, But it is what it is. We right here. This Monday, we what 2 weeks rusty, so
2 weeks off.
Yeah, so we gonna bounce back, shake the cobwebs off. How'd y'all boys do in the NBA?
I went 3-1-1 in the NBA, so good day in the NBA. Utah let me down. I don't know what the hell. I didn't even watch that game. But our boy Moneyline talked to me before the game, and he told me Pelicans Moneyline.
He said that.
Nigga called me and said, I think the Pelicans can win outright.
And he hit.
And he is. So
that fool called me yesterday. He called me yesterday like, hey man, check on Lowey. I'm trying to do a Dayton money line. I was like, yeah, I know you see them up a little bit, but shit. And they came out. Hey, good call on that one, LJ. You called that the whole time I was watching. I was like, man, he called this one.
See, that boy shouting you out right now.
Yeah. But yeah, that was yesterday. Hover, how'd you do? How'd you do in the NBA?
I didn't really do too well yesterday, so it's probably the worst day. Well, one of the worst days I had, but we're gonna bounce back. Utah ended up losing. Embiid ended up playing, so Philly blew them out. So like my pick was based on Embiid not playing.
I didn't think he was gonna play neither. I still took Philly though.
The Dallas ended up being a push.
Fucking Dallas, dog. And last I looked at it, they was up like double digits.
Yeah, that ended up being a push. I think I called the over for the Charlotte and Portland, but I called Charlotte to cover, and Charlotte didn't cover.
You called the over. I got the over written down.
Okay. Yeah, so it wasn't one of my best days because I've been having some days where I've been 100%, between 80 and 100%, but eventually everything gonna balance out. So that's why we're gonna make a video, an NBA video after this one. So we'll go ahead and bounce back.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I forgot. And remember when I told y'all I definitely wanted to do so I got the Rockets right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I had to. Okay.
We both hit the Cavs money line.
Yeah, that's my thing I always do. So if I see them playing, I know I at least got one if I just bet against them. So.
Hey, and when you had jumped up, I told the people, I said, hey, listen, Hova said take the Rockets first half. He said take the Cavs first half, second half, full game spread, money line, take them everything. And they covered on everything. they covered everything. So
the Rockets not good, man.
Man, fade them. I saw a couple of people in a couple of chats. They was like, man, fade them all year.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's a terrible thing to see, but shit, we right here in the hometown, so we should be able to let the people know. But let's jump right in it, man. We got a game started in a little over an hour.
Yeah.
And this is it's going to be a barn burner. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. We got Baylor taking on West Virginia. That line opened up in favor of Baylor -4. The total was 149.5, and right now the line is still stuck at -4. 148.5 is the total, so it went down a full point. These actual factuals, Baylor's just coming off. They've been on pause with COVID, so they came back, played Kansas, which Kansas has been a very weird team this year. They started off very terrible, and now they picking their shit up. But anyways, Baylor's 18-1, 13-6 against the spread, while West Virginia's a good 17-6, 13-10 against the spread. Get to these injury reports real quick. Baylor has no injuries reported, as well as West Virginia. They have Cottrell, who's been out all season with the Achilles. Again, Baylor's coming off of a loss, 71-58 against Kentucky, but beforehand they were running through everybody: Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Texas, OU, Kansas, Oklahoma State, Auburn. They was just taking care of business, but once they got hit with that pause, just think about it. When their last game, when they were just consistent, was February 2nd against Texas. They won 83-6.
They lost against Kansas.
Right, but they took almost 3 weeks off. 21 days later, they played Iowa State and barely beat Iowa State 77-72. So you could tell they was rusting, and then boom, Kansas just caught them. You know what I'm saying? But West Virginia, they haven't had any issues really with COVID. They've been consistently playing, especially in the second half of the season. They are 8-2 in the last 10 games, and they're on a 3-game winning streak right now against Texas, 84-82, TCU 74-66, and Kansas State 65-43. Their last loss came 91-90 against an OU team who was just super trending at that time. Get these actual factions for you people real quick. Baylor 13-6 against the spread in the last 19 games. The overs hit 6 out of the last 7. Baylor's 18-1 in the last 19 games this season. They're 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games versus West Virginia. 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games on the road. The overs hit 6 out of the last 7 when playing on the road against West Virginia. 9-1 straight up in the last 10 games. 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 games on a Tuesday. And the total has gone over 5 in the last 6 games when playing against a Big 12 opponent. West Virginia, right now they are 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 games. The overs hit 7 out of the last 9. They're 6-1 straight in the last 7 games. The overs hit 4 out of the last 5 against Baylor. The overs hit 6 out of the last 7 when playing at home against Baylor. 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games of the season. 8-1 straight up in the last 9 games against Big 12 opponents. 5-2 in the month of March in the last 7 games, and 4-2 against the spread in the last 6 games when playing as an underdog. Baylor, number 4 in the country now, versus West Virginia. What y'all got?
You got it, Mikey?
I throw in some other actual factuals too. So before I go ahead and give you my pick, Baylor's 20-8 against the spread in his last 28 games against teams winning with a winning percentage above 60%. They're 12-3 against the spread in the last 15 road games against a team with the home winning percentage above 60%. And West Virginia is 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games, following a straight up win by 20, in which I believe they destroyed Kansas State the last game, right? Is that who they played? West Virginia?
Baylor? West Virginia, yeah.
West Virginia, yeah. Okay. All right. So this one right here is gonna be kind of tough because to be honest with you, I always hate betting against Huggins. But I gotta stick with Baylor. I took a money line, and the reason I'm sticking with Baylor is because they would due for a loss eventually with all of the COVID, and sometimes teams just go cold, and that's what happened against Kansas. I mean, Baylor's one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country, and they went cold. What I think they scored 58 points. Something like that. 50-something. That's very Baylor like. So, sometimes those games happen. But look, West Virginia, they won 3 in a row, so I can't necessarily count them out. But at the end of the day, I just think that Baylor is just gonna get back. And they're just gonna pick up where they left off at, and they got too much firepower. One thing, the difference this year, West Virginia versus past years, this year West Virginia has actually been dependent on the 3-point shot a little bit more. So I always get kind of skeptical when teams do depend on the 3-point shot. That's not something really Huggins is normally known for. So, but hey, this is probably the biggest game of the week. I mean, this is going to be a big game. So I think Baylor goes ahead and gets the W. I took the money line. The value was at -178.
Okay. So we got money line. Marley, what you thinking?
Man, this is a tough game, dog. We've been on this West Virginia team for a while, especially riding first half with the press defense. This team goes as Culver goes, the big man inside. If he dominates, I think they can keep this game maybe kind of close. I don't know. I personally think Baylor is the superior team, honestly. The rust, like you said, I think that's more of a reason why they got the loss more than anything. They're 21 days off. They've been back, 2 games since then? This is the 3rd, or is this the 4th?
Second. This will be the 3rd game.
This will be the 3rd game. I want to say they might have their legs back. Russ might be off. I think Baylor wins the game regardless. I'm just trying to figure out the cover. To be honest with you, on my personal bets, I did Baylor money line, and then I did a parlay with West Virginia plus the 4, because I just didn't kind of know which way to go on it. But for the purposes of the video, I'm on Baylor. I ride with Mikey on the money line.
Okay. Marley got the money line, Baylor money line. I'm going to take West Virginia first half with the points. Since Baylor's been back, They have lost the first half outright. West Virginia's press defense, you this your third game back, so you got to get used to the press. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if West Virginia wins outright first half. But official play, I like West Virginia first half. I think they're going to first half. I think what is it +2?
It got to be 2. So it's either going to be 1.5 or 2.
Let me just.
But this is a game. This is a game that like I said, even though I'm picking Baylor money line, this is a game that I wouldn't be surprised if West Virginia was able to pull this game off just because of circumstances. Yeah, you got teams going in. I don't want to say 2 different directions because Baylor only lost 1 game, but they haven't been that active, and West Virginia has, and they're kind of on a little roll. So yeah, this is anything can happen in this game, especially when you start talking about West Virginia and their defense. They held Kansas State to 29% shooting from the field, and they forced 17 turnovers. So if you always gonna have a chance to win. Huh?
I damn near want to switch my pick. I just think Baylor goes. They played 2 games already. They took the L, and now I think it's time to bounce back. But
yeah, it's time to bounce back for sure.
West Virginia is good, dog. They're good.
Yeah.
They're very capable of beating Baylor.
Yes, they are. I would agree.
So yeah, that's my play. That's my official play on that matchup. I'll take West Virginia +2. That game starts in about an hour, so catch me with that +2 for the first half. West Virginia. Hopefully they'll come out, press them, because you got to also think West Virginia. Baylor, they're doing a lot of traveling. Iowa. They just went to Kansas. Now they got to fly right back across country. West Virginia, hostile environment. It's not going to be, with the full crowd capacity, but there are going to be some people there. But I do think Baylor's going to cover and win this game. So, I'll go ahead and give 2 plays, which sounds crazy. West Virginia first half +2.2. But Baylor full game -4. I think they will come out and play and finish the game, because it only takes a half to figure out that press. After that, it's a wrap.
Yep.
So that's what I got on that one, man. Let's get on to the next game. We got Arkansas taking on South Carolina. Arkansas opened up as an 8-point favorite, and the total was 154.5. Right now, that line is still in favor of Arkansas -6. The points have gone up 3 points. It's at 157.5 right now. Arkansas 19-5 on the year, 16-7 against the spread, while South Carolina Gamecocks, they are terrible, 6-12, 7-11 against the spread on the year. Injury reports. Arkansas, they have 2 players who've actually been out for the season. But for South Carolina, Woods, he's questionable for today's game, as well as Hannibal. He's questionable as well. He's undisclosed, so he's probably messing with them little girls in the dorm rooms. Got caught up, and now he got to sit out. Arkansas, they are 9-1 in the last 10 games. They're actually on a 6-game win streak right now, which is a pretty good win streak. Mississippi State, Kentucky, Mizzou, Florida, Alabama, and LSU. They beat LSU 83-75 in the rivalry game right there. While South Carolina, they're riding high because they got their upset victory against Georgia, 91-70. But before then, they was on a 6-game losing streak in the hands of Mississippi State, Bama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Mizzou, and Mississippi State again. But they snuck an upset in here February 3rd against Florida, 72-66. And then lost to Vandy before that. These actual factuals: Arkansas 6-0 against the spread in the last 6 games. The unders hit 4 out of the last 6. They're 6-0 straight up in the last 6 games. They're 2-7 straight up in the last 9. 9 games on the road against South Carolina. They're 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games, 8-0 against the spread in the last 8 games against SEC opponents, and the over has hit 4 out of the last 5 when playing in the month of March. South Carolina, they are 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games. The overs hit 5 out of the last 6. They're 1-6 in the last 7 games. The unders hit 8 out of the last 11 games against Arkansas. They're 1-5 straight up in the last 6 home games, 7-2 straight up in the last 9 games when playing at home against Arkansas. And the total has gone over 5 out of the last 6 against an SEC opponent. 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games when played on a Tuesday. South Carolina Gamecocks hosting the Razorbacks. What you got?
This was one of the plays I recommended today when you asked me. Man, it just caught my eye. I've been kind of following this Arkansas team a little bit. They've been, like you said, over the last 6 games, they've been balling. 5-game winning streak, 5 or 6 game winning streak. Not exactly sure. I saw the line open at 6.5, I think, or 6, and when I saw it drop to 5, I couldn't understand why. I jumped on Arkansas minus the 5.5. South Carolina, man, they're 6-12 overall. They got one of their wins here recently against Georgia. Upset. I don't want to say I think they're happy, but you know how it is after you've been struggling, you get a win, feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Might not be as intense practice, might not come as hard. Meanwhile, Arkansas, I think they continue to roll here. This is one of my locks. Honestly, it's one of my better bets. I think Arkansas rolls all over SC today. I gave up the 5. I'm on the -5. Easy money today. Oh, my bad. You got before I do finish, you got Moses Moody. He the freshman for Arkansas. I think he giving you like 16 and 6 assists, something like that. And then Justice Smith the 4, he giving you 12 and 7 rebounds. So like I'm just Arkansas to me, this is one of the if boys ain't been paying attention, like Arkansas is hot right now. This might be one of my best bets of the day, honestly. Arkansas -5.5.
Yeah, they definitely hot. They definitely hot.
Yeah.
Pay attention to them.
What you think, Marley? I mean, what you think, Mike?
Okay, so number one, Arkansas is probably the hottest team in the country.
Yep.
So we definitely have to factor that in. I'm still trying to figure out. I don't know why I ended up going down to 5.5. But here's the thing. Now look, South Carolina, even though they're 6, I believe 6-12.
6-12.
They've been competitive in a lot of these games. So their main issue is that they turn the ball over and they're very inconsistent. But they got some guys who can actually give you double-digit scoring with AJ Lawson, Keyshawn Bryant. So I think if they can keep it close and take care of the ball, then riding that kind of high wave, that win off of I think you said they beat Georgia Saturday.
Yeah, 91-70.
Yeah. I think that's gonna give them a little bit of confidence, and they don't have anything to lose, so I think that they have a good chance to cover. I don't like the 5.5, to be honest with you. I wish it was still at 6.5, but I'm gonna say that South Carolina is gonna make it a competitive game. And even if they kind of start off slow and Arkansas gets up early, I think they do. South Carolina does just enough to cover the 5.5. So I'm gonna take South Carolina plus 5.5 and just depend on those 3 scores, and see if they can go ahead and kind of pick up where they left off at in their victory against Georgia Saturday.
That's an official play?
Yeah.
Man, good luck.
Right. So what's your official play, Mike?
So South Carolina plus 5.5.
Ooh.
Hey man, good luck with that, bro.
Yeah, good luck for real, for real. I'm sorry, man. I'm going with the analytics. I'm taking Arkansas. They are trending up. South Carolina been trending down. I agree with you. They have been competitive.
Not in their last 5 games.
Well, the last game they just won.
Well,
So,
I mean, the 4 before that.
but are they too high off that win? Are they too high off that win? That's
Hey,
what I
I
want to
can't.
know.
I can't back that team, dog. I can't do it.
I can't either. I'm gonna take. I think Arkansas is gonna come out. Okay, they will cover this spread, but I think they're gonna come out first half. Take
They gonna
Arkansas
come out.
first half.
And they gonna come out and smack the shit out of this fucking
Blow
Carolina.
the doors. Just blow the doors real quick.
It's
So,
money, dog.
are y'all able to look at that line and tell me real quick what it is? So if it's at 5.5, it's probably gonna be at 3.5.
Oh yeah, it said 5.5. I can't look it up. I can look it up, but it might take me a second. I don't have the lines. Not the halftime line up.
Hold on, I got your wager pulled up. Let me see. 3.5. Yeah, give me that. I'll take Arkansas plus minus 3.5.
So you're not on the full game.
I'll take the full game too.
Okay.
And if you like the total, if you like total, what was the total? Was it at 155, 156?
I believe it's the 147.
I got
157. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Shit, I'm looking at the wrong shit.
I want to make sure it did. I thought it started off at 156.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's gonna be the play of the day. This Arkansas game. Those guys that are questionable today, they do attribute to the game. They do attribute to their points per game. But Arkansas is just hot. They're right there. They pissed off that they didn't get that the championship, the season championship, and I think they're gonna go in a tournament. I think honestly they should win the tournament, man.
SEC tournament?
The SEC tournament, yeah, I believe so.
This game, you might see a lot of scoring in this game too. So,
all right, well, let's get on to the next game. Good luck on that one, Mike. Let's go to Xavier taking on Georgetown right now. That line opened up in favor of Xavier -1. The total is 144.5. Right now it's at -2.5. The total's at 148. Get to these actual factuals. There's Xavier 13-5, and as you can see, they had a lot of pause with COVID. 13-5, 10-8 against the spread. While Georgetown, they are 8-11, 11-8 against the spread. Injury reports for Xavier. They have D. Miles. He is questionable for today's game with a knee injury. I do believe he got hurt last game against Creighton, so he's questionable. While for Georgetown, Jay Blair, he is questionable today. It's undisclosed, so you know what it is. Probably fooling around, had no business out and about, and made a boneheaded decision, and now he's not playing today. Xavier in the last 5 games, they are 5-5. Now they had a pause. They paused for a little bit, but that was early in the season. They are on a 1-game winning streak against top 20, Creighton. They beat them 77-69. Saw that full game, took Creighton's during a live betting and lost that one. While Georgetown, they are also 5-5, coming off a victory against DePaul 68-60. Now, Mike, you want to talk about a team that's been, scrappy in their games, though their record is trash. Georgetown, they're one of those teams. The over has hit for Xavier 13 out of the last 20. They're 13-5 straight up in the last 18 games. They're 9-4 against the spread in the last 13 games against Georgetown. They are 8-1 straight up in the last 9 games against Georgetown. They're 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games when playing on the road against Georgetown. They're 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games when played on a Tuesday, 5-10 against the spread in the last 15 games when playing as a favorite. Georgetown is 7-2 against the spread in the last 9 games. The overs hit 7 out of the last 10 games. They're 5-2 against the spread in the last 7 games. 1-5 straight up in the last 6 games when playing at home against Xavier. 8-3 against the spread in the last 11 games this season. But 6-14 straight up in the last 20 games when playing against a Big East opponent. And the unders hit 8 out of the last 9 times when playing on a Tuesday. Georgetown versus Xavier. I know you fellas, Marley, you didn't give me as a play, but do you see anything? Do you have any input on this game?
Yeah, I don't have a play on this game. I liked Xavier earlier in the season, but since they had that break, they've been a stay away from for me. They've been inconsistent up and down. I don't know if it's the injuries or it was just the break. Georgetown, I agree with what you said earlier. Georgetown, sneaky competitive. I don't want to say sneaky good, but they'll like pop your ass every now and again. My lean would be to Georgetown plus 2.5. Don't have a play. I think Xavier is the better team and they should win this game. But too inconsistent. And I don't like how they've been playing basketball lately, so I don't have a play on this game at all. Lean toward Georgetown with the points though. Should be probably a close game.
All right. Mikey, you got any input on this?
Yeah, I would say my play would be Xavier money line because Xavier needs this game if they want to make the tournament. If they lose this game, most likely they're not going to make the tournament. I mean, they were on the tournament hosts were on life support before the upset against Creighton. So this is a must-win game. You know, they got one of the best offenses in the country. I think they average about 78 points. They shoot the ball better than Georgetown, and they got 3 guys who can score double digits. So it's definitely going to be a tough game because, like you guys said earlier, Georgetown is just – I mean, even Xavier's coach said that he's been telling his guys, like, yo, don't look at Georgetown's record because they've been playing a lot better than what their record indicates. So it's definitely going to be a tough game, but I got to take the team who needs it, and I'm assuming who wants it. So I'm gonna go with Xavier money line.
All right, is that official play for you, Mike?
Yeah, it's an official play for me.
All right, Mikey Hove. I'm right there with you. I like Xavier. I like the Xavier money line. That's the reason why I got this hat on today because in the last couple of shows I wore my North Carolina hat, wanting to take North Carolina, right? And they lost. They laid an egg 2 times. So I'm wearing this hat today. I need Rockets on the back-to-back.
Do I need to stop wearing this Rockets hat then? Is that why we done lost 12 in a row? I didn't even think about it. Maybe I need to stop
wearing my
beanie.
Hey, I wear my beanie. If they keep losing and I keep winning, I'm good. I'm keep wearing it.
I'm gonna keep wearing it.
So that's why I need this Xavier money line. It's a lot of plays to be made today, a lot of money to be made today. But I like this Xavier money line as well. I don't want no gimmicks. I don't want no tricks. You know, get me out that Baylor game, get me out that South Arkansas game, and then I'm money lining. You know, I'm money lining on this one. You know, so that's my official play. I'm right there with Mikey, Xavier money line. Let's get to the next game, which probably is going to be the game of the day, to be honest.
I think so.
Illinois making the noise against Michigan, the Wolverines, Juwan Howard. Michigan, but this is kind of scary to me. Michigan opened up as an 8.5 point favorite The total's at 149.5. Right now, that line is still in favor of Michigan, -6.5, and it's at 145. Get to these actual factuals. Illinois, the Fighting Illini, they are 18-6 on the year, 15-9 against the spread. While the Michigan Wolverines, they are 18-1 against 18-1 on the year, and 15-4 against the spread. Injury report. Illinois, they got a couple of guys that are out. Griffin's out, Hutcherson's out, Padilla, he's out, and a guy, Dosunmu, he is out as well. Michigan should be healthy. Michigan has no injuries reports because they've been out for a while. Illinois, they are 9-1 in the last 10 games. They are on a 2-game winning streak against Nebraska, 86-70, and they beat Wisconsin 74-69. While Michigan, man, they've just been on a tear, and since they've been back, it just seems like they haven't lost a beat. They're on a 7-game winning streak right now. Some of the teams they beat: Maryland, Purdue. That was in January. Then they had two games in the middle of February, on the 14th and 18th against Wisconsin and Rutgers. And then they took a couple more days off, right? Got right back to it. Ohio State, 92-87, which was a good game. Iowa, 79-57, a slacking. And Indy, 73-57. These are some good teams, dog, that they are on a streak against. Get to some of these more actual factuals. Illinois, they are 7-3 against the spread in the last 10 games. The overs hit 4 out of the last 5. They're 9-1 straight up in the last 10 games. 5-13-1 in the last 19 games against the spread versus Michigan. 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games on the road. 1-5 straight up in the last 6 games when playing on the road against Michigan. 11-5 against the spread in the last 16 games, and they are 1-6 against the spread in the last 7 games when playing in the month of March. The Wolverines of Michigan, they're 6-1 against the spread in the last 7. The unders hit 5 out of the last 6. They're 7-0 in the last 7 games. The unders hit 4 out of the last 6 against Illinois. They're 13-0 in the last 13 games at home. 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games. 11-2 against the spread in the last 13 games. 6-1 against the spread in the last 7 games. We're going against Big Ten opponents. And the unders hit 10 out of the last 15 games on a Tuesday. Michigan Wolverines, Illinois Fighting Illini. Let me start off with you, Hova. What you think?
Man, this Michigan be clobbering people at the crib. So I'm so scared, because that's a lot of points, 6.5. But man, they've been beating people by an average of 17 points. And then Illinois, aren't they missing one of their best players?
I'm not sure. I know they got some injuries.
Because I know last game they had 2 freshmen that stepped up.
Clipper, I see you.
Now look, I think the line opened up at 8.5.
Right.
Okay, so I probably would have potentially took Illinois with that, but man, that's 6.5 on the road. I gotta take Michigan with the points, man. Even though it's a lot of points, I gotta take Michigan, man. They're too powerful, and they're too over powerful at home. I gotta take them with the points. I got to.
All right. Marley, what you got?
Man, yeah, at 8.5, I'll probably go Michigan. But 6.5, I mean 8, I go Illinois, excuse me. 6.5, I go Michigan. And when I called it at 6, when I woke up, like Mikey said, I mean Indiana, 73-57, kill them. Iowa 79-57. Kill them. Ohio State, close. Good team. So that was only a 5-point game. Rutgers 71-64. Rutgers a tough defensive team, but we still covered a 6. Wisconsin 67-59. Kill them. And this alumni team is good. I know boys is kind of on a bandwagon right now. They just lost to Ohio State though. And Michigan just beat Ohio State. And I'm on Michigan, dog. I don't see Michigan as a Final Four team, potentially. Should be. I don't know if they'll make it, but they should be a Final Four team.
They're arguably one of the most balanced teams in the country.
Yeah, I agree.
So I agree. I agree with you. Potentially, they definitely.
If they don't make a Final Four, I think they underachieved.
Yeah,
they should make a Final Four this year. I mean, it's dog. Before COVID, took a break, come back, still banging people head up. I mean, like they big. They big. They can run. They can play in the half court. They can play defense.
They can play defense. They can rebound.
They're a complete team.
And that's big. I mean, they've been doing this to people in conference play.
Right.
Good teams.
These teams are really good teams.
Good teams. I mean, Indiana, good team. Iowa, good team. Ohio State, good team. Rutgers and Wisconsin. That's their last 5 games.
Yes.
So I mean,
there's nothing else I can think of to make me go against Michigan.
Yeah, that's what I said. I might take it at 8. Illinois is a good team. 8, 8.5.
Yeah, if it was 8, 8.5, I'd be all over Illinois.
6.5. Give me Michigan.
Yeah, especially at home.
So you got that 6.5 Michigan. All right. I want to play that first half because when Michigan was steady rolling, when they were rolling, they were dominating the first half. Though they've won every first half they've been back, excuse me. Ohio State by 3 points. Iowa by 3 points. No, they beat So both of those was by 3 points. But versus who they played, Indy, they blew the doors off them first half. I've seen them, but before the pause, they were doing good in the first half, man. But again, this is number 4, Illinois. They are pretty good. So I'm kind of scared for that 4, but I'm with y'all, man. Give me that full game, 6.5.
6.5.
Dude, they're legit. Everybody can shoot. The freshman, he's playing outstanding as a big man.
Big boy. Yeah.
But why is the line going down? That's my concern.
I just think
I would not be surprised if they beat these boys by double digits.
I think you're right. Marley, 8 was just 8.5 was too much.
And Illinois is the new, like they've been all over ESPN and shit like the last week. So they're like the new hot team right now.
Yeah, so people kind of start. Because we said we would have jumped on it. So imagine how many people jumped on that.
Yeah, I probably would have took it at 8. Guarantee I wouldn't have been so quick to jump on Michigan at 8. I'm not.
Man, I think they're gonna cover. Dude, I think they might beat these by double digits.
I think they can. I think they can.
Yeah. They got that depth, man. So, well, we all riding for that one. Michigan minus 6.5. So we all are on that one. Let's see here we got.
Illinois go humble Michigan. Oh, okay. Guess they go humble us too.
We're gonna see. We definitely gonna see.
Yes, they're gonna humble us too, Clipper.
Let's get to our next game. We got Wisconsin. We staying in the Big Ten. Wisconsin going up against Purdue. Let me see what the information on this one. Wisconsin opened up as a -1 favorite. And the total was 129.5. Since then, that line has flipped. Purdue is a -2 point favorite, and the total is at 128.5. Wisconsin 16-9. These guys are frauds to me. I ain't gonna lie. 16-9 on the year, 12-13 against the spread. While Purdue, they are 16-8, 12-10-2 against the spread on the year. Injury report, excuse me. Anderson, he is questionable for today's game for Wisconsin. And Purdue, they had a gentleman out. I can't pronounce this dude's name, but the center, he's out. In the last 10 games, Wisconsin, they are 4-6. Their last loss coming against Illinois, 74-69. But beforehand, they won against Northwestern, who was trash, 68-51. But if you look at it, Wisconsin, when they were going against some of the top dogs of the conference, they just lay an egg, man. They even lost to Penn State in the back-to-back with the first game. They lay eggs to some of the top tiers. Purdue, they are 7-3 in the last 10 games. They're actually trending up. They're on a 3-game winning streak against Michigan State, Nebraska, and Penn State. All three are not that good. They're not that good, but they are like what Mikey was talking about with South Carolina. They are scrappy, especially that Penn State team. Get to these actual factuals. Wisconsin, they're 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games. The unders hit 6 out of the last 7. They're 2-4 straight up in the last 6 games. There's 1-6-1 against the spread in the last 8 games against Purdue. They're 2-6 straight up in the last 8 games against Purdue. They're 3-15 straight up in the last 18 games when playing on the road against Purdue. They're 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games against an opponent in the Big Ten, and 7-2 straight up in the last 9 games in the month of March. Purdue, they're 9-2-1 against the spread in the last 12 games. The unders hit 6 out of the last 9. They're 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games, 9-1 straight up in the last 10 games at home. They're 15-3 straight up in the last 18 games when playing at home against Wisconsin. 5-1-1 against the spread in the last 7 games, 9-2-1 against the spread in the last 12 games against an opponent in the Big Ten Conference, and the totals has gone over 8 out of the last 12 on a Tuesday. Purdue versus Wisconsin. What you got? Start off with you, Marley. What you thinking?
Like you said, Wisconsin, you've been saying it all season. They are frauds. You don't believe in them. But I just like how Purdue been playing lately. But with that being said, they haven't played anybody. Penn State, nah. Nebraska, nah. Michigan State's been playing good as of late, if you want to count that. They lost at Minnesota, which is Minnesota's good at home, and then they beat Northwestern. So 4 out of their last 5 wins, I'm just not impressed with. Then I look on the other side, Illinois, Wisconsin, they just got smashed by Illinois, but Illinois is the 4th-ranked team in the country. Beat a sorry Northwestern team, lose to a good Iowa team, lose to a good Michigan team, and beat Nebraska handily, which they both did. So to me, this is like a toss-up game. I think both of these teams beat up the smaller competition in the conference, but when it comes to playing the big dogs, they can't hang. But I'll take Purdue on the money line. I think they're the better of the team playing at home. I kind of like this Wisconsin team, man. You know what? Wisconsin plus the 2 points. Talk myself.
You like Wisconsin plus 2?
Plus the 2, man. Give me Wisconsin plus the 1.5. I think it's a toss-up game. Purdue might be the better team, but my personal bet that I made before the play started was on Wisconsin. So I was going to go – I just gave Purdue because I think they're the better team. I ain't really going to lose on my record. But since I took it, my personal bet, recommended my money on it.
So what we doing, man? What's the play you giving the people right now? Wisconsin plus 2? Okay, got you. Marley, Hobie, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take Purdue. It's hard for me to deal with teams who lay an egg or they're inconsistent when in big spots. and that's at any level of competition. So Marley's right. You know, Purdue hasn't really those three wins in a row. You know, it's not like they were against like elite teams, but you know, hey, their wins in a game like this, where it's gonna be an old fashioned Big Ten half court grinded out game. That's why you had a low total of, I believe the total is like 129. So in this spot, I'm gonna have to go ahead and I'm gonna have to ride with Purdue. I think they'll be able to do just enough. Get the ball in Travion Williams, let him go to work, and it's definitely gonna be a back and forth game. It might come down to the last one or two possessions for sure. So, but I'm gonna get an edge to Purdue just because I don't trust Wisconsin.
Money line?
Purdue money line.
All right, I'm kind of right there with you, man. I like that. I like this Purdue money line. The actual factors, they not lying right now. You know, Purdue's been dominant at home, so I'm gonna ride. And I've seen this Wisconsin team. They are, you know, they're like a coin toss. You know, you just don't know what team that you got. Both of these teams are fighting for a spot, but right now, I just think Purdue is a little bit more trending. I think they have history behind them. They have the data behind them. I like Purdue money line as well. Let's get this money, Mike. I ain't gonna lie. When I woke up and I looked at all the plays, I instantly saw this one. I said, I like Purdue. That was like for sure. Baylor and Purdue was like, okay, I like Purdue. For shit show. Ain't nothing gonna change my mind about that. You know, and the only thing I was questioning with that Arkansas was, can they cover, you know, that spread, that high spread. But after looking at it, you know, South Carolina got injury problems. You know, I'm right there. I like that too. But just first glance, trusting my gut, boom, I said, oh yeah, give me that all day. So Purdue. Big game.
Hey,
it's gonna be a big game.
Real quick too, you guys make sure you keep up with that injury report in that Michigan Illinois game, just to see if whether the Sun U is gonna play or not, because that can make a big difference. Because if he ends up playing, the line is gonna really shift, and your picks may change. So make sure you keep.
That's probably why it's shifting. It's been shifting now, because I think they think, you know, and we'll have to check Twitter, you know, but I think somebody knows that he's about to be playing.
If he's playing, that's a game changer right there. So, I mean, he I think he had a broken nose, so if they mask him up, he should be able to play. So just be mindful of that. If I'll tell you this. If that line goes up to 8.5 because he is playing, my pick is Illinois. If the line stays where it is with him not playing, I'm gonna stay with my original line. But I just want to let y'all know, because you know we not gonna shoot a video like during the game or nothing. So just be mindful of that.
He plays, and I'm Michigan. I'm hitting that nigga in his nose. Oh my mama. I'm going up for a rebound. I'm hitting him in his nose several times. He's not gonna finish the game. One of us not. I'm gonna either get a tech and get tossed out, or he's not gonna finish the game. Because I'm trying to hit that nose. I'm trying to hit that nose every rebound I can.
It's gonna be a good game though. It's some real good games, man. It's some real good college games on. It's gonna be some good NBA games on. So.
Coach, man, you got like 7 plays today.
Man, I know. I'm over here thinking like, I'm over here looking. Can I go 7-0? I might not even, and I'm kind of scared to talk about this last one because it might be just an all-around trap. But because I know the teams, And let's get to our last game. Marquette versus DePaul. This is the Bum Bowl.
Oh my God.
Marquette opened up as a -6 favorite. The total is 133.5. Right now, that line's at -5.5. Still in favor of Marquette. 138 is the total. Marquette 11-13 on the year, 9-15 against the spread. While the DePaul Blue Demons, they're 4-12, 7-9 against the spread. Right now, for the injury reports, Kane, he is questionable for today's game for Marquette. While DePaul, they have Freeman Liberty, he's questionable for today's game. Jacobs, he's out with a knee. Lopez Jr., he's also questionable for today's game, as well as Edwards, he's out. So both of these teams got some guys that are out. Marquette, they are 3-7 in the last 10 games. They are on a 1-game loss against UConn, but before then, they beat Butler, who's, man, they have been inconsistent too. Like, they just beat, who'd they beat yesterday?
Butler is trash.
But Butler beat, I think it was Creighton. They beat somebody. That was like, wow. But anyways,
go ahead.
Marquette lost to UConn 80-62, but they beat North Carolina 83-70 at home. DePaul, they are 2-8 in the last 10 games. They're on a 2-game losing streak against Creighton 77-53 and Georgetown 68-60. And they beat St. John's, though, which was an upset, 88-83. That was a huge upset because St. John's was really booming at that moment. Real quick, Marquette 5-12 against the spread in the last 17 games. They're 3-7 straight up in the last 10 games, 2-5 against the spread in the last 7 games against DePaul, 15. And you know what? It's too many good games. It's too many good games.
I'm just gonna end
it right there.
Hey, why is Marquette favored over anybody? I don't even understand why Marquette is favored over anybody.
Well, because DePaul is trash. I think I don't know. They're going to win.
It is terrible.
After looking at it, yeah, it's way too many games to even fuck.
Yeah, we don't even need to mess with that.
I was going to ask you. That was going to be my question. I was just waiting on you to get the read. I was going to be like, bro, of all the games there are, you got 7 plays already. Like, why include fucking Marquette at DePaul?
Dude, DePaul was trash.
I sat there and watched the whole game when they played Butler. I had money on that game. Both teams are horrible. It was terrible basketball. So I say I would never bet on any game this year that includes Marquette or Butler. Bad basketball. Can't do it. Won't do it. I'm not even interested in it.
I'm not interested in it at all either.
And they got the nerve to be favored by 6 points? Yeah, that's crazy.
I remember that game you was taking, though.
You remember that game because you remember me messaging. Let me tell you how I won that game. Because I was about to lose. I'm steady messaging like, yo, man, both these teams suck. Boom, boom. And I ended up hitting the over because this dude comes off the bench for Marquette. He hits a 3, and then the other dude comes down and hit a 3 at the buzzer. That's how I covered. But the game was so long and drawn out and nasty and sluggish. Nah, I'm not interested, man. Can't do it.
Won't do it. Can't play with him. Won't need him.
My play, dog. I'm already go about the Wisconsin play.
So let's do a quick
that's one of them iffy games too.
Let's do a quick recap because this Baylor game about to come on. I'm gonna go get this workout in, eat this salad that I just got. Baylor, the official plays. Hova like Baylor money line, Marley like Baylor money line. I like West Virginia +2 for the first half, but I also like Baylor -4 to cover. Arkansas versus South Carolina. Hova like South Carolina +5.5. Marley, and myself, we like the full game Arkansas at -5.5. And I also like first half Arkansas -3.5 for the first half. Xavier versus Georgetown. Marley didn't have a play, but myself and coach, we both like Xavier money line. Illinois versus Michigan. This is another game that all three of us, we all like Michigan -6.5 for this game. Wisconsin versus Purdue. Marley likes Wisconsin +2. The line's at 2, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Mikey, we both like Purdue money line. And then for the Bum Bowl, I decided to just delete that. We're not going over the Bum Bowl. Hey, man, y'all be sure to like, subscribe, follow. If y'all got any games y'all want to cover right now, open mic, you can come on in. You know, we can talk about this. In fact, man, I should have included the link into the description if somebody wanted to come on and join and give their input. But if you're in the comment section, man, open mic, if you got any plays you want to talk about, let us know. If not, we're going to get out of here because we got 18 minutes till some real college basketball. Real quick, because I'm hitting myself in the head about that NBA. I should have took the Cavs. I should have took Philly, like I said. And there was one other game that was just a blowout. Oh, and then the Nets, but we didn't cover the Nets. And I asked y'all.
We didn't cover that game.
I asked y'all because y'all the NBA heads. Y'all said y'all said let's talk.
But that was because we already had a certain amount of games. It wasn't like we didn't want to cover it. It was.
What's going on in that game? Y'all said Kyrie Irving is hurt. He ended up playing. They ended up making easy money.
Hey, so look,
that game went overtime yesterday.
Yeah, it went, and I messaged you last night when I was watching the Rockets game. The commentator for the Rockets said Irving wasn't playing.
Shit, I saw ESPN highlights.
No, he played, but he wasn't. He was listed day to day.
So what was the final score?
127 to 1 something overtime.
Yeah, Harden had another triple-double.
So they covered.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Yeah.
All right, Chester wants to talk Baylor. The game over. Let's talk Baylor game. I don't get the game over. Over again. Yeah. So Chester, real quick, as far as my picks, I like West Virginia first half +2. I think they could probably win that one outright for the first half. Since Baylor's been back, they haven't been doing too well in the first half. But I just hope they don't get the trending because that's a scary pick. But I like a -4 to cover for the full game. Hova, what you like? Hova and Marley, they both like the money line.
Yeah, we talking even though they had that little loss or whatever. Look, teams, that's gonna happen, especially under those circumstances. And I mean, if you gotta think about when we start talking about balance, basketball teams, you don't really get no more balance than Baylor as far as efficiency on both ends of the court. 4th in offensive efficiency rating and 8th in defensive efficiency rating. So sooner or later, the stroke is going to come back. West Virginia does a lot of pressing. The only problem with pressing a lot is that, number one, your team gets fatigued and they start making mental mistakes. And then number two, you give up a lot of easy baskets. So once Baylor starts moving the ball up the court with no problem, making some good, clean, crisp passes, getting a couple of dunks and layups, swinging it in the half court, hitting the 3-point shots, then there's no doubt in my mind that they'll be victorious.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I agree. I was thinking over because in order for West Virginia to have a chance, they have to score. Yeah.
Oh, so he's talking about over. He's talking about the actual over/under. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The under has been hidden for for Baylor lately.
Because they be having high totals because they score 80 points a game.
Because they score 80 something off the rip. They average 84 points a game.
I don't know if they're gonna get 80 though against West Virginia.
I don't know. I don't know if West Virginia is gonna get in the 70s. West Virginia gonna have to get 70 something.
Right. I don't know if they're gonna make it.
But
yeah, I don't know, man. That's tough.
What's the total again on that game?
I thought it was 156. Let me check it again.
It should be a good defensive game, to be honest, because both of these teams do play defense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I would probably lean under.
Yeah, and you'll know. You'll
148 and a half.
You'll know off the rip. I mean, them first 5-10 minutes gonna tell you everything you need to know. You're gonna know damn near basically if you won or not with over under. Okay, so they say it's at 149. It's at one. It opened up at 149 and a half. I think it might still be there somewhere around there, 149 and a half. Baylor, hey, that's not that bad though.
That's not bad. Yeah, 149
for the over.
Yeah,
they can get there.
And then you're gonna have a lot of free throws. Because
honestly, I could see that game being like 75 to like
78, 79.
75 to like 60, 75 to like 67.
Because look, here's the thing. When those teams, okay, we picked Baylor, but at some point in time, I think coming down the stretch, the game's probably gonna be competitive, right? So it's gonna be some free throws, and with the type of style of defense that West Virginia plays, they're gonna send them to the line. So yeah, if we can get between 20 and 25 made free throws combined between both teams, the over possibly could hit at 149.
148 and a half. I think it's possible. I don't got to play on it.
I don't have a play on it, but I would say who was that brought that up? Chester.
Chester.
Yeah, just go ahead and do your thing. Do your thing and stick with that over. That's what I would do.
I think it's possible though. We can reach it.
Yeah. But you're gonna be sweating at the end.
You're gonna be sweating like a little.
In my opinion, the only way I think that hits is if Baylor come out and blow the doors.
Blow the doors off. Yeah.
Like 80, 83 to 69 type shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's possible too.
Baylor gonna have to win by double digits to cover that one.
Yeah, I feel
take Baylor money line, best value.
Hey, I feel better with the -4 than I do the over.
Hey, look, that money line don't be that bad, man. Like, okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all my bet that I got right now. I got 300 to win. What is it, like 160 or 170 or something like that? I caught it at -178. Sometimes that just buys that. Sometimes that buys you just a peace of mind to where you don't have to worry about that. And that's what that money line don't be that bad sometimes. Even though you look at the numbers, you're like, I want more value. Sometimes when you want more value, that's what gets you popped. So gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, because it's gonna be close.
It's gonna be close. Will hurt you, Dale. That boy K Hardy say blitzing will hurt you, Dale. Oh man, the first play, less than 10 minutes. We gotta, this game is important because it dictates the entire day. Now,
for me too.
Huh?
It dictates. Look, I came up on Euro basketball this morning, and now this is when you build and you get to that middle part where you either gonna go or you just gonna go Like, I'm here now, and this play is going to dictate whether I keep going or whether I just come right back down and start back over from scratch. So this is definitely a big game for me. That's why I took the money line. I was like, I don't have time to be worrying about it. If this nigga foul this nigga at the end and he misses and I don't got time for that, man.
Hey, man, you know what I hate? I hate when I got a close spread. I hate this shit. I hate when I got a close spread, right? And it's the second half. And the game, like less than like 5 minutes. Let's say I'm up by like 2 on my spread. So let's just say, for instance, for tonight's game, Baylor up 70, Baylor up by 6, 3 minutes left. I hate this type of shit. And I took Baylor -4. The team, West Virginia goes down, shoots a shot. Baylor gets the rebound. Boom. I'm like, okay, yeah, good. We good money. Go down here and get these points. Let's go up. Because they're 3 at the end. Baylor coming down. They miss the shot. Next thing, don't get the rebound. They take a bad shot, don't get the rebound. West Virginia goes down there, bam, shoots a 3. So now you're like, damn. Now I need 1 point now, and it's under 2 minutes. Now you just start thinking of all the different scenarios. Like, dog, them threes, I hate that shit, bro. God
college is very notorious for that happening, bro.
Man.
They can go, a dude could go an entire game without hitting a 3. And that at that moment, in that situation, he gonna hit that 3.
Bro, I've been hit by games like that too, especially in women's basketball. Bitch come down and hit a 3. Be like, this is her first 3 she made all year. And they're like 10 games in. Come on, bro. Like, come on, my man. I hate when teams don't foul. Like, oh man, I hate foul situations. I hate when the team know they up, and then the other team they still playing, so they just go down and they just give them an easy layup, and you just like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a rough day in live bet, and I ain't gonna lie to you. It was rough. Like certain teams, like who did I catch losing? St. Bonnie was losing. First off, you remember when we was on, I was like, man, I like this line, St. Bonnie, just to win the first half, -108. Click on it. You know how it does the shit. Then next thing you know, it's out of there. I'm like, come on, bro. And they end up winning that hole by 1 point. But like, Bonnie should have won that. I took them when they was down, but I had no reason to even fuck with that game. There was another game that somebody was playing. They got upset yesterday. Oh, what game was that, man?
Not none of our games.
I don't think it was none of that. It wasn't none of our games because all our games, it was me fucking around, fucking with shit that I shouldn't even been fucking with. Let's see. Yesterday, I know I took that. I think I took OU. Yeah, we took OU. Let me see. It was an upset, bro. Yesterday, I was like, really? So St. Bonnie, that was one. St. Joe's and Richmond.
Oh yeah.
And I did not know. By the time I took it, I did not know that Richmond's best 2 players they got out. They were injured, so they sat out. They got hurt during the game. I did not know that. That was bro. St. Joseph sucks.
That line was -14,
and they was hooping, dog. I'm like, bro, they can't catch cold. Like, I'm like, come on, man. You know what? And I kept saying, damn, why didn't I just wait and just take Winthrop first half? Why not?
I started to take that Winthrop, but I got scared.
Yeah, man. Then my dumb ass, I had a little free play at the terrible day, so I was like, fuck it. I'm going to take Arizona +9. They down by 2. Take them +9.5 for the second half. Man, I look up. Colorado State outscored them boys like 26-4 in the second half. I'm like, Go fucking figure, dog. Yeah, man. These little kids, they be stressing me. But yeah, this game about to start. So y'all got anything you want to throw out there?
It is it, man. Y'all check us out. The NBA show about to set it up and go live in about next 10, 15 minutes.
All right, man. Well, hey, let's get this money. Thank y'all for joining Brothers and Bets for Tuesday's edition, and hopefully we all have something great to talk about tomorrow. I'm the coach. It's Marley Betts, Mikey Hover, the Reaper. We out.
We out.
Oh, wrong thing.
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey.